Have they given up?
No.
That's a nice hat, Peter. Where might you get such a thing?
I don't know.
Down in the description, Peter. Down in the description. Pick one up. The mad thing is, Pete, we're using this as bedding. They'll come in and they'll eat all this first.
Yeah, I know they will. They always will.
They're just greps.
If you put it in a ring, they won't look at it. Oops, again.
Oh, you got a pot. I thought you'd just gone weak on me then. We did it the other day. When they were over there, we rolled one worse than this, and the whole lot was gone.
Yeah, that's how they are.
Usually there's one or two that get out, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they prefer an old bale to a new bale. It's a bit strange. They're a bit strange like that. It's a 6640, and you remember we were taking it up to the lad at the road who was going to have a look at it and see if there's anything wrong with it. Hydraulics were ever so slow. We suspected maybe a pump failure or something.
Here we have Four Winds Farm, 6640 Ford New Holland tractor, and they've been suffering with a low lift power. The machine wouldn't pick up heavy implements, and the hydraulics were quite slow. Matt asked me if I'd do a small video for the viewers of what we found, how we diagnosed it, and what we're going to do to rectify the problem. So we did a flow test and a pressure test, and it was down on both flow and pressure quite significantly, and we narrowed it down to the hydraulic pump. This is the hydraulic pump here. It's a hydraulic gear pump, and these gears spin like this, and the oil goes around the outside of the pump from one side to the other. Now it goes. This is the outside face, and this is what we found when we got in there. That's what they should look like, and the driven gear had actually failed significantly. When we took the gears out, we found that the gears also had quite severe wear on the faces where they mesh. This pump is well knackered, so we've ordered a new pump. Here you can see the faces here should be dead smooth to stop any oil leaking internally in the pump as it's operating, and as you can see they're quite chewed up along with the lower bush. Quite a major failure. So we stripped that out to have a look and confirm the diagnosis. That's confirmed that, and here's the new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do you guys a small time-lapse video of me installing the new pump. We'll put some fresh oil and filters in her, and then we'll do a pressure test to check all's well.
Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright.
Okay, we fitted the new pump. We've pre-filled the new pump with oil so it doesn't starve and run dry. We've also pre-filled the filter and got that on there. Marked up when it was fitted and what hours it was at. Refitted the drain bung, don't forget that. And we're going to fill her up with oil now and run it on the axle stand to just check for any leaks and make sure it's all okay. We've got the oil pressure gauge in the back end plugged into a spool, so we'll check our pressure there once we're up and running, and we'll see what we're getting. But for now I'm just going to bung some oil in it and we're going to give it a go. So now what I've done is check the back end oil. The back end oil level's good. We now need to check the pressure. I did have the pressure gauge connected to the brakes because that's what I last used the gauge for, and left it on there. Anyway, we've got it connected to the spool now with a different coupler. We'd like to see over 170 bar compared to last time. At full throttle on the tractor we were struggling for 125. So if I now engage the spool valve, we're getting upwards of 175, nearly 180 bar at idle revs. That's just what we should be seeing. And the pressure relief valve should keep it roughly at 180 when I rev the tractor. RPM, no change in pressure. Back the revs off, we still maintain a high level of pressure. So we've made a significant improvement, and this tractor shouldn't struggle with lifting implements anymore.
All sorted. I think it's 400 quid for a pump, so not too bad, but yeah, got to have it. How come your shovels are only half shovels?
Alright.
You're only doing half shovels. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everything's shut up now, so Peter's made a ramp at the end here for the concrete lorries to reverse them down the end, and we just fill in with concrete as we go, one side then the other side, and we'll tamp it all across, and that's it, that'll be job done. Everything's level, everything's the same. It's got a 3-inch floor, got a fall on the front here, so the water runs away. Sheep have been trying to help us. It's been a freezing cold day today. This front end is all temporary, but you want to have it ready so when the last few loads come in, you can quickly knock it up together, and yeah, job done. You don't want to be holding the concrete lorries up too much if you can help it. So yeah, everything here will just pull out. We'll let the lorries come on in, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't rain because it's nice and hard at the minute. Everyone's disappeared. Whoa. Whoa! That was close. Oh man, I nearly went down then. A little bit of a dusting of snow overnight. I don't know where everyone is. Got a few cows out, so we'll probably have to go and take them some hay. Because obviously with the snow on the ground, they can't get any grub. Bit cold. Whew. I'm walking across there. I've nearly twisted my arse cheek. Right, so what have we got going feed up? We've got the young heifers, haven't we? We've got next year's heifers and this year's heifers to go and feed up, haven't we? Yeah. And we're going to do the bull and his 2 women. We won't be able to see him. He's Shirley, isn't he?
Yeah. They're normally in that field at the top corner, but I don't know if
Let us see.
not today.
In the summertime, they're always in this one, over in the corner, and this one.
Yeah. They can get
Out
through
of
to
the
the
sun.
glebe as well.
There they are. It's just, oh, God, I'm a good driver.
I can only just get through though with my tractor with the big tyres on.
Yeah, it won't be long before these are in. They'll come in end of, well, whenever it gets wet. We'll just scatter these about a bit. Here she is.
She's friend. I like her as well.
76. You're a good cow, aren't you? They got so funny mouths, didn't they?
I know.
We called this one Martha, after young Andrew's favourite woman. But she's the nicest cow ever.
Yeah.
544 is the other one. But you got your own name, didn't you, girl? And I can't remember what happened, but she had to be milk fed by the farmer. I don't know if the mum rejected her or whatever, but the mum was kept kicking her off. So in the end, I think the farmer took her in his hands and fed her every day, and she never forgot it. And she has been really friendly ever since. And you go, they should all be in calf, these lot. They're more interested in the truck than they are in the nice hay that we just bought them. Always the way. He's perfectly fine out until they can stay out right until the end of December if it stays dry. Usually all this land here is always, well, last year it was all underwater, so it's actually quite rare for them to be out this late. But yeah, we've had a bit of snow, so everything looks nice. Won't last, temperature's going up, so, and one hiding in the hedge over there. Yeah, these they'll be joining the cows in the barns in a few weeks time. We'll come and get them. We'll do it before it gets too wet down here. These are all the heifers. So there's Martha over there. You just see Martha. character. All friendly. Right, we're going to go to the others, weren't we? We're going to go to the younger lot now and make sure they've got some grub. I think there is 13 or 14 for this year. Yeah, 13. But these won't go to the bull until next year. We keep them separate. We will put them in a shed which is close by to these fields, so we just run them across the fields into the shed up here. The farmer, he litters them and feeds them every morning. We try not to feed them up too much. We don't want them getting too fat, because fat heifers are a nightmare to calve. So yeah, they don't have to have too much special grub. That's why they're down here in Otmore. The grass isn't particularly special down here. Then all the calves at home, once we've got those red heifers out, we start feeding them up. They get a bag of barley and oats. A good looking bunch, aren't they, Charlie? We're going to head over and see Lucas the bull, and he's with 2 cows. Yeah, the bulls should be coming in soon, and the last of the cows, because there's a cow with Ricky the limbo, just to keep him company, and there's 2 cows with the Chevrolet bull. They'll come in. We'll you did the you went through the cows on Friday, didn't you, and put the Ivermectin, that's it. So lice and worms and all that, so stop them scratching in the sheds, make sure they ain't got worms. Scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock. Yes, you have to go and get the gate. Finally beat you. She does me every time on that. Scissors, paper, rock. You've got to go and get the gate again. I'm on fire today. You'll break the ice and around the edges like that, and it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker until you end up with this tiny little hole in the middle. Oh, Kiwi. He's a big boy, isn't he? He's been here 5 years. That's Lucas. It won't be long before we have another, but I don't know if he'll stay this year or not. I think Ag said they usually stay about 5 years. So he might do another year yet. Yeah. He seems alright, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You can text in the usual ways, 85858 or at the Unstuck Live.
Matthew, fetching the chisel plough. Yes, there's a funeral up at the church. If I can get by, I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Peter has just picked up chisel plough. We've got a leak on one of the pipes.
If you look for a tap.
No, we're looking for a tap. It's actually coming out from inside the tap there, wasn't it?
I think the frost has split it.
Oh, yep. That nearly went on.
Yeah, luckily it did.
Oh, that would have... This water supply here is when we have this shed, when the cows start calving, we'll move them onto this shed because it gets a bit crowded.
Split round there, look, across there.
When are we going to use these?
When it's frosty and hard, it's going to go out on the ploughing and just cultivate it around while it's hard.
Is that just to level it off?
To level it off and break it down a bit.
Where is it hot?
It's hot.
I don't even like holding it.
Can you find this socket on the gun that fits these bolts?
Yeah. Hey, that came out alright.
It's because it was warmed up.
Oh, there it goes.
There's a bolt through the centre and there's a big thick collar like goes right through, so you can only heat the ends. You can't heat in there where it needs heating.
Right. And what about up here?
Well, they should come out reasonably easily.
Yeah.
But you can get the heat all the way around there.
So what do you do? Heat from both sides?
So yeah, so we have torched a hole in the top of there before, so you can heat the collar inside.
You remember on the last videos we were actually up and we were making a concrete base. We were meant to have concrete lorries for today's video, but unfortunately snow came down, fields are now wet, so it's going to be it'll be in a couple of videos time, I imagine, whenever it's dry enough to get it up there really. So we'll come back to that. Tell me what you're doing there for people at home. What are you doing when you're turning these taps?
That's gas, purely gas.
Red is gas.
And then you add some oxygen to it.
Yeah.
And you have to add a bit more gas, a bit more oxygen, a bit more gas. So we've got a nice hot flame.
Oh. Look at that glowing. You don't want to touch that, do you, Pete? No. Whoa, careful. You're crazy.
Punch there.
Huh.
Can you drive through and drive that one out? See if the punch will fit first, don't you?
Oh, get it off there, look. Oi. Mate, do you see me do that? That's still glowing, look. Ah, put it down your pants.
Going anywhere.
No, she's in there, isn't she? Oh, steamy.
Right now, like the rest of us.
Oh yeah, bloody hell.
They've got to heat it up. To move this time then.
Hopefully.
Right, ready?
Yeah. Is it moved?
No, don't think so.
You're just making a hole in the thing, aren't you?
Yeah. Pull that out of the pliers then.
Sorry, mate. Bloody hell.
Like I say, it's just hammering that in, isn't it? It's not happening, is it?
She is part of the leg now.
Probably have to drill it out.
Probably leave it there because it's getting dark and we're going to have to put things away, but we'll have another crack at that, won't we, Pete? We'll get it out, we've got to get it out.
Open on the Thursday.
Yeah, can I get around?
What's this?
1st of December.
Thank you.
But you better just keep them all and just give them a chocolate. Give us a chocolate every day.
I'm far too old for this. Where's number one?
Okay. Yeah. So a random
just a random, yeah. And what will you be testing them for?
Copper, selenium, iodine,
Right.
particularly. They're a bit far off to do copper and magnesium because you need to do that really at the point of carving.
Right, okay.
A couple of weeks either side.
Yeah.
So unless we have some really early ones, we won't bother with those just at the moment. So they're the main ones. Might just throw in some energy indicators as well, just given
Yeah, the carving.
we
Yeah,
had
last year. Yeah.
just so some BHB and NEFAs just to see whether they're mobilising any fat or whether they're struggling or
Right, okay.
at the moment.
Okay.
So that is my plan. Where did the bulls? When did the bulls go in?
They went in the shed in March, and then they came out the end of July, and we normally calve sort of February onwards.
I'm glad you have counted March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So we could have. They're ready to drop now. If they went in March.
Yeah, we don't normally. They always go in March.
Never say never.
No. We normally start calving. It'd be third week of January. You might get one or two.
And so when did you take them out? August, September, October, November, December. So 5 to 9 months. Okay. And how many bulls?
5. They normally go on about 30 cows.
Okay. Perfect. What's the first one in calf? Yes.
There's only full balls at the minute. Yeah.
4 bulls.
Yeah.
Still, they've got like 25.
Yeah, 25, 30.
So I've got my hand inside the rectum, which is a soft tube that you can move around, and then I'm feeling for the reproductive structures. So at the moment I've got my hand on the cervix and trying to feel down from the cervix to see if I can feel any evidence that she's pregnant.
The last time we had a guy here, he had a special machine and a scanner.
Yeah, so I've got a scanner, but the way I tend to do it is to what we call palpate first, to see what I can feel first, and then put my hand in with the scanner once I know where everything is. So she's in calf, I can feel that, I don't need to scan that.
Really?
Yeah.
You can. Oh wow! There we go. So these girls are from Hampden Vets, which is in Buckingham. We're having all the cows go, and we're also having some tests done on the cows. I don't know which ones, but we're going to have some random tests done because last year we had a bit of a difficult time during calving, and it could have been for any various reasons. But our vet there, Tonya, she is going to take some bloods and make sure everything is ship-shape and tidy. Yeah, so the lady there, she's going to scan the cows, and we've got a younger here learning as well. She is a student, she's going to be learning. Charlie's in the pen, I'm going to be in the pen with Charlie helping us.
They're made by the same company. The difference is that this one I can connect to a screen so I can see what she's doing.
Right, okay.
It's on. So here, these are the cotyledons. So you know on the placenta you have these big like buttons.
Yes, yep.
So they are the cotyledons in the uterus. There she goes. So it's basically the placenta. This fluid is the fluid in the amniotic sac, so the fluid that the calf sits within. Because it's quite far along, the calf is like quite low down, so you struggle to see it. That's a bit of calf there, but I can't really work out what bit it is. How far do you think?
6 months? What do you think?
Whereabouts is it?
Right down the bottom.
6.5, 7. I mean, they're pretty big cotyledons. What I will just do. We've zoomed out, in effect, so that you can see deeper. So here we have our cotyledons again. This is the fluid that calf lives in, and you just saw its eye. That was its eye. There.
Oh wow. How can you, to me that just looks like lines, and
I have extra skill.
you've just seen it so many times you know what's what.
It's just lines. Just lines. That is the eye there. Can you see the,
Oh yeah,
there's
I can
the
see it.
lens.
Oh, he just blinked, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Really wonders
Can
what's
you
going
tell?
on.
Can you tell if we've got twins?
Not really at this stage. So if we were scanning them at 3 months, then
Yeah.
yes, because to see, you know, our probe is only that long.
Yeah.
And to scan through the uterus, you need to be able to see 2 to make sure that those definitely are twins. So in dairy cows, when we're scanning them at like 4 to 6 weeks, then yes, we pick up twins then.
Right.
But now we're just a little bit too far along. But unfortunately,
Staging-wise, I would say that was more like 7 or 8.
yeah. So its eye is like this big, isn't it? So it's getting there.
So you're writing down how roughly how old they are, Lou?
No,
No, because you've got a bet on.
Oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, she'll cheat if I was going to say that would ruin everything.
So we're writing it down for
the farmer.
Yeah.
No, we're not writing it down. We're
Yeah, don't be cheating. Don't show him. I won it last year. I hold the trophy.
It's sad, isn't it?
So you've got, bear in mind there are quite a lot of cows. You actually got the right cow.
Yeah, it was quite. I just had a
And this
real
is a chap
easy look at
that
them.
went by the size of the belly as to whether they were going to calve or not.
I had a look. Big tummy, big udders. I knew it was close.
So how close to calving was it when you called it? Like the day before?
It was about no, within the week.
Yeah, well, so it still wasn't like a month
No, I
away.
couldn't call. No. Do you mind doing that?
For me?
Like the first time you do that, is it weird?
Well, the first time ever was probably, yeah.
She's in car. No, we enjoy it 'cause we're here.
I've got a master's
And do you go in the rectum rather than the?
sorry,
You go in the rectum rather than? Why not the other way?
because if you went in the other hole, you'd hit the cervix and you wouldn't be able to feel anything.
Right. So you're feeling in the rectum. You're feeling like a lump in the rectum, are you?
So
When
you
you-
go into the rectum, you can feel cervix.
It's
Yeah.
like having your hand inside a bag, in a bin bag, then trying to feel.
Yeah, feel a bin bag full of poop. Yeah. And then you can feel the uterus, you can feel that there's fluid in it, you can feel that there are the cotyledons in it, and then you can feel something hard if there's a calf there.
Oh right. There we go.
Did you say that one's earlier?
Come back to the eye. That's right.
You're right.
So here is our uterus. It's a bit dark because she's got quite a lot of shit in there. But you know how there was loads of fluid before? The fluid is black.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fluid before. This is our uterus here that's completely closed.
Right.
Can you see the fluid? Okay. So we've got a cross section of it there. The black around the edge is just the blood vessels around the side of it. So yep, she has got not a lot in there.
No calf in that one.
No calf in that one.
And say we've got 100 cows.
Spuds, yeah.
If we've got 100 cows, say what's the rate you're looking for?
So, ideally you'd like 65% to the first cycle, so the first 3 weeks of your calving period, and then you want 95% in calf by the end of 9 weeks.
So if we've got more than that, so at the end of it, if there's more than 5 out of 100, then something's a little bit amiss.
Yeah. Now the difference is that our calving period is going to be more extended than that. So the most efficient herds are about 9 weeks, 12 weeks at a push. So that's 3 or 4 cycles. The longer you stretch your calving period, the more likely they are to get in calf because they will have recovered more from the previous calving period.
Yeah.
But it then comes to the point where you have calves at all different ages, so you're more likely to get a disease outbreak because you've got varying immunities going on.
Righty.
And you also then have a different age range of stock of calves, so if you wanted to calf from your heifers, they'd be at different ages, so when it came to bulling them they wouldn't potentially be old enough or well grown enough. So the tighter you can get your calving period, the better really.
Right, so we took a poo sample. You just took a feces sample.
Yes, for liver fluke.
And what is liver fluke?
It's a parasite. So it lives in the liver, breaks down the liver tissue, which is where they get sick. We only really see it on wet pastures or areas that flood because the life cycle has to go through a mud snail. So they need to be in the environment where the mud snail exists, basically.
Right.
So water meadows are particularly bad.
Like Otmore being quite wet down Otmore, yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
And is that a random test?
We are randomly testing
Just
them,
random
yeah, to see whether we need to. So there's no point testing every single one.
No.
Because likelihood is if we have a percentage of them.
Yeah.
Have it. Do you want to liver fluke? Yeah. So that's what we're doing it for, to see whether we need to treat or not. Because ideally, we'd rather not treat if we don't have to. But as with all parasites, like bacteria, like antibiotics, the more we use the drugs, the more resistance it gets against them and the less effective they are. So we're going to see if we have an issue before we go for it.
Yeah.
It's all mixed
I bet you got in this job for the glamour, wasn't it? Is the glamour.
Oh yeah.
So why the tail?
Because it's the easiest bit to get to.
Just easy, and there's a big vein there, I guess.
I know it's a tiny vein, it's only like millimetres. But the other option is the neck, which is a massive vein, but you then have to restrain them to get to it.
Right, they're
so
shaking about, yeah.
Much easier to get to the tail.
To summarise, at the end there was how many knot and calf?
13 knot in calf out of 83, did we do? 84.
So what percentage is that? That's nearly 15, isn't it?
I have no idea how it feels on that.
I'll work it out in the edit. I think it's about 15 or 16%.
Something like that it will be, yeah.
So we're a little bit high on that, aren't we?
We are indeed.
So we've got a load of tests going, haven't we?
So we're testing for trace elements and for liver fluke. So that will potentially tell us what is up. I'm just going to do the calculation.
And we've tested some of the ones that are empty, haven't we?
Yep.
So
What do we say? 13 divided by 8. Oh yeah, 15.48. Well done, you.
I'm just like a maths junior.
We're also going to look back over the calving records from last year to see if the empty ones are ones that had problems last year, because if you have issues calving, it takes them a lot longer to recover and start cycling again.
Yep, so some of those could have been the empty ones they could have been some of the bad calvers.
Yes, or
stuff like
prolapses.
that. So we've got to look a little bit further into it, haven't we? And yeah, and also you were saying about the bulls, it could be a simple bull issue.
Yes, so we always advocate testing the bulls before they go in, about a month before they go in with the cows, because 1 in 5 is subfertile, so it's always worth looking at the bulls.
So we might do some semen sampling.
Yeah, I mean we're going to go down the bloods first because it's a bit late for this year.
Yeah.
But for next year, yes, we
So
certainly.
come spring, we might, just before we put them out, just see what the bulls are doing and how fertile they're. Bit higher number than we wanted, but it is what it is, isn't it? We can't change it. So yeah, thanks for that. Nice one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice one. Right, so there we go. That's it. That's probably going to be the end of that one there. But this video is getting on for pretty long, I imagine. But yeah, we got some tests going. We're going to see what's going on underlying, and then we'll go through the records and make sure that none of the empty ones are the ones from last year, because she was talking about if they're empty from last year, they start packing on the weight, and then it's a job to get them in calf again anyway. So, but that was a good day, and hopefully we get some good information out of the tests and we can turn it around a bit. I just wanted to say thanks very much for the Hampden Vet girls for coming down and doing the scanning today. Yeah, I think it was Tonya, Ollie. I didn't get the girl's name, but yeah, thanks to those guys. Seem to know their stuff down there. They're pretty good. We probably will be getting up to Christmas time by the time you see this video, I imagine, because I'm always behind. But yeah, over the Christmas period, I'm going to try and get some videos in there for you to watch. I've got some old hay videos you can watch. I've got 1 or 2 harvest videos there, I think. I've got a maize video with Ron Varney and his gang. So hopefully I can get these things edited in time, and we've got some content over Christmas for you to show you. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks very much.